Yeah, so we were talking, Karl, about. Oh, by the way, this is Karl, is lead singer of Deliverance GM, my band. He lives in Melbourne. I'm in Brisbane. So at the moment, we're just talking a lot on Skype and getting to know each other again. We were in a band together in the late 90s, and now we're doing another project, and we're getting to know each other again, and it's been really cool chatting and talking about old times, old influences, and watching our old home videos, fucking funny stuff. Yeah, man. So I've started a little thing called the Heavy Groove List, man, and it's just talking to everyone and anyone about their top 5 most inspirational moments in it can be a song or a band, it doesn't matter, whatever. But just 5 things or thereabouts that really stick out for you over the years, that you love, that you cannot leave. I kind of describe it as you don't find 5 things to put on the list. You just, what are the 5 things that you cannot leave off the list that are kind of got to be there for you? So I'll hand it over to you, man.
Yeah, that's cool, because it's put me on the spot a little bit. I haven't really, I have 0 time to think about it, so it's good. So whatever comes into my mind as far as groove goes, I think Faith No More is a big influence in groove, and from Angel Dust, Be Aggressive is one song that's got this really punchy sort of guidance that just takes you into this yeah, well, it is definitely groove. And then
Cool.
off King for a Day, there's Digging the Grave, which is really really great. And The Gentle Art of Making Enemies is the other one from that album. That, so there's 3 straight up. And I think the most influential groove riff that's got me hooked in sort of in that power groove metal is Cowboys from Hell. Like Cowboys from Hell absolutely destroys. There's something
that
about
main riff.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when it all kicks in with the bass and the drums, it really like cements the groove. Like it's fucking brutal. I love it. Out of all of their songs, I still reckon Cowboys from Hell is the shit. You know, it's
cool, man. Yeah. I remember it blew us all away, man. First time I heard that, I think I was in year 10, and the first time I got shown that, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I've never heard anything like it. So,
yeah,
cool. So, Faith No More and Cowboys. Anything else to chuck on?
Cowboys.
Not necessarily even metal, or it's just something that's, sometimes real ambient slow stuff and can still be heavy and dark and groovy in its own way. I don't know, you listen to some different kind of stuff, so I was just kind of interested if there's anything else, something of a different genre that might stick out. No, if it doesn't matter. I don't have to push it.
There's an album that actually sticks out. That's a concept album by can't remember. I can't remember their name. Fucking hell. No, it's really good. It's a cover of Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
And so the whole album is from start to finish exactly the same as Dark Side of the Moon original.
Right.
But it's redone in their way.
Wow, that's cool.
And the way that they interpret the whole album gives it this totally different groove. Like there's the way the drums interpret the whole song. The whole album is driven by this like the drum track pretty much. It just changed everything. But I'll remember the name pretty soon of the band.
And when you find it, yeah, let me know, man, because I'll be super keen to hear that. I haven't heard that. So
Got it on vinyl, actually. So I'll just run in and confirm, because it's oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. This is old age, like old age, documented in real time, being alternative. I got to find it.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of any of their other stuff, but what they did with this was just blew my mind.
Sounds great. I obviously, when I rattled off my list, I had to put some of our own stuff on there because some of the grooves in Dirt and Guide sort of still blow my mind.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've got a whole section here under groove, and I'd say Tommy Guerrero was a famous skateboarder in the 90s. Like, he was with Tony Hawk around that time.
Right.
And then he was also a musician, and he's still a musician today. He actually just released another record not long ago, and his music is so groovy. Like, the bass line and the drums are just phenomenal. So Tommy Guerrero is definitely someone in my list of top groove.
Nice. I didn't realize this. I mean, this is what I love about having conversations about this sort of thing, because you find out a whole bunch of stuff you never knew existed. So
exactly, man. There's also a YouTube. Oh, here it is. The Flaming Lips.
Flaming Lips. Right.
So they did this, right? The Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. But it was just the way they did the percussion in it that gave it that groove. That's just fantastic.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. It's probably around online somewhere. Yeah.
And you know, in the Dark Side of the Moon, the original, they have the male talking over it, and there's female singing.
I haven't heard it for so long. It's a bit fuzzy in my head, but yeah.
Yeah, in the Flaming Lips version, Henry Rollins is doing the talking, and Peaches is doing all the female vocals, and she's fucking amazing. She's completely out there with it.
Wow.
Probably one of the best albums I've got, actually.
Cool.
Yeah. Blew me away.
Yeah. It's amazing what collaborations come together to really kind of capture a moment in time, eh? Amazing.
Yeah. Like that.
How long ago did they do that? You know, was that done in the 90s or 80s or later?
I think it was about 10, 15 years ago. I think it was 2005, 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, early this century. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's some nice diverse stuff there. In your list, man. That's cool. I think I had I had all the same kind of genre, because I was just kicking this thing off as heavy groove, so I just threw all heavy groove, and I said I didn't give individual songs, although I did say our stuff, some of our stuff. I'd said some Pantera, some Down, COC, Tool, and White Zombie. I threw in there as well, because there's some grooves in there, especially in the last two bands I mentioned, White Zombie and Tool.
Zombie,
just some crazy grooves, man. Look, just the whole vibe on the Sex Sister was all about groove. My favorite album. And
the groove
Tool, and Tool, just some of their grooves are crazy, man. Like, you can't replicate that stuff, and it doesn't matter what anyone tries. I know people go on about a lot of other bands who do some really weird out there shit, but just or even more complex than Tool, which is great. But just the way when they hit the pocket, there's I don't think anyone else hits it the way they hit it when they're all in sync and just tight as hell and just in a groove. It's just so good.
It's so
And they only show you moments of it. Like that's what I like about them too. That they'll just throw it in for a few bars and you'll never see it again. You know, just tease.
But it's so infective. Yeah.
They just tease you with it, and because you know you want more, but then won't really give it to you. So.
And they've got it.
yeah, that's right.
They've got it whenever they want. Yeah. It was like the classical composer that broke it down, Doug, I think his name was, who said there's a reason why no other band can be like Tool is because they can't. You know, it's just that's just Tool in a nutshell. They're so unique and I mean, they've got a whole groove of their own that nobody can replicate. The rhythms and the bass and drums is the band, I reckon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And Adam and Maynard just put their stuff. Like they color everything on top, but Justin
Maynard's the paintbrush.
But Danny and Justin are just phenomenal. Like even the old guy like before Justin, he was really, I really liked the stuff he did as well. It was a bit more in your face kind of bass playing than Justin, but anyway, but we could talk about Tool for hours, but probably piss a lot of people off, so which is good. They talk about the Tool army, but there's probably even a bigger army of people that hate them.
True.
Yeah.
There's I just remembered something else about Memorable Groove, and it was a YouTube video of a live performance of a current half member of here we go again, Hall & Oates.
All right.
Hall & Oates. And they're singing Can't Do That. And Niles Barkley is doing half the vocals in it. And it's absolutely mind-blowing. And the groove that they have in this little studio, probably in the back of one of Hall or Oates' house. I don't know who it is. He's grey and he's old. They all look similar now. All us old boys. But I'll share that link, and if you want to put that up as well, that's it's just such a feel good groove that just makes me love that head movement of when you hear something good and you can't stop your head moving. It was very unexpected. I was laughing at it when I clicked on it, and then by the end of it, I was a bit teary. Like it was pretty mind blowing, man. Yeah, Niles Barkley is amazing. He's got a voice. He's a dude.
Wow, check it out.
He's so smooth, man. I like. Oh, got me a bit hot under the collar. And I don't even bat for that team, but when they're good, they're good. Yeah,
man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's speaking of stuff that's a little different from metal, so to speak. Some of the stuff that I grew up with, which really got me into groove, that I realized later, I didn't realize at the time, but U2's Rattle and Hum, some of their live stuff on that, I was like addicted to that when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, and some of the live performances on that VHS are just killer. There's so much groove in there, and it's dark and heavy, even though it's rock. But the way those three guys and then put their music together was really intense, especially on some of those live performances. And one band that I saw when I was about that age live, one of my first concerts was Simple Minds from Scotland.
Amazing. I
They're
love Simple Minds, man.
unbelievable band, unbelievable live band.
They're one of the best bands in the world, I reckon.
Yeah, they're man, all the musicians killer, and Jim Kerr's an awesome vocalist. But those two bands, I think they kind of steered the ship to me for me towards more intense rock, hard rock, metal, and that. But they're the two rock bands. Even people can say that they've got the pop elements too, which is true. But they're the two like really solid rock bands. Scotland and Ireland, ironically enough, next door to each other. That they just led the way for me. Like, I still love those guys, both of those bands. Like from those eras, not so much what they're doing now, but
yeah. It's like Brothers in Arms, Dire Straits is one of my childhood albums that I still really love. You know, I bought it on vinyl now because it's one of those things I could listen to over and over again.
Yeah. There's so much shit.
Yeah, there is so much cool stuff from back then that's just so influential that surprises a lot of people as well. You know, when you're playing heavy music and you start pulling out influences like Simple Minds and you know, Hall and Oates and Mondo Rock. I really love Mondo Rock. There's something about those guys that really make me smile. You know, I love their music.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
You were talking the other day about the Models. They were killer as well. The Models.
Yeah, man, they were a huge influence. Yeah.
I mean, that's how Kate Ceberano got her break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She was like the singing for him. So
yeah.
Great stuff. They're really good. Yeah.
Very cool band. They were a little bit obscure from the other stuff that was on at the time. And like Out of Sight, Out of Mind was their big one. And I think that was a bit sort of mainstream, you know, and that's why it got in. But their other stuff was really edgy, you know. It's almost in the same field as Roland S. Howard and, you know, all the early birthday party stuff. It was moving into that sort of alternative bizarre rock. You know, it was just cool.
Yeah, you can see some, I wouldn't say they're similar at all, but you can see a few parallels between Nick Cave and the lead singer of the Models in terms of just real presence up front and real big voice, and, you know.
That's it.
There's some parallels there. Yeah.
Really strong.
Can't remember the dude's name, but yeah. Hey, dude, I'm gonna have to. I wish I could talk another half an hour about all this cool shit, but I got to go out later, so I better get ready.
All right.
But it was great conversation, man. This is gonna go up on the heavy groove list as the second list. I'm not calling them episode 1, 2. This is first list, second list, third list. Keep writing lists, man. Go on forever.
Yeah, we can shoot the shit forever too, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Hey, we'll talk more the next few days as well about our stuff and whatnot, and cool ideas and vocals and whatnot. So it's a cool catch up, man. Enjoy your wine. Have a good week, long weekend, man, and talk to you soon.
All right, mate.
Cheers, man.